So the minerals are basically the micronutrients. So minerals are basically of the macro uh, organic compounds. So they are actually need in a less quantity comparatively to the micro one. That's why they are also known as the micronutrients. And these are the elements which largely remain as ash when any plant or animal tissue completely burned. Okay, so in a human being, there are the 19 minerals present in our body, basically. So the total mineral content of our body, though it is very in the less quantity, but still they uh, almost they constitute at least 4 to 6% of the total body weight. Okay, so the important nutrients are in that. Also some nutrients are actually or, referred as the trace one because they present in a very low level in our body, and some are in a very uh, large quantity comparatively to that trace and elements. So in this also there are the macro minerals and the micro minerals. So the minerals which are present in large amount are the calcium, chloride, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, and minerals which are in less quantity are the chromium, cobalt, copper, iodine, iron, manganese, zinc. Okay, yeah. So minerals are also like this in the smaller quantity and the larger quantity. So first of all, we will discuss about the calcium. So calcium is a macro mineral mostly present in our body. In the where it is found in the bones and the teeth. And calcium is basically act as a coenzyme for many metabolic processes in our body. 99% of calcium is basically present in our bones. Only 1% of our body calcium is present outside the skeletal system. So together these two minerals are basically uh, 75% of the total mineral content in our body. So calcium approximately 1200 gram present in the bones and the teeth and other parts of the body. As I told you, 99% in the bones and 1% in the other parts. And phosphorus is basically 400 to 700 gram contained in our body. So they are required in larger quantity. So what is a function? Basically, the function is first of all development of the bone and teeth. So they help in the bone mineralization. So they help basically they make our bones so rigid, and phosphorus makes the firm also, and they give strength to our bones also, and they help in regulating muscular contraction also. They have in various body processes they regulate though their functioning. So uh, they regulate muscular contraction also. They help in the clotting of the blood also, some enzymes regulation in the nerve conduction. They also improve our cholesterol level. Okay, so many functions are there. And specific they also transfer some specific characteristics from the parents to the children. So they capture the and store also the vital energy in the cells. Muscular tissue contraction, I told you. The sources of calcium and phosphorus are basically the cheese, yogurt, milk, dark leafy green leafy vegetables, in ragi, some The pulses, the whole pulses. So milk and its products mainly are the excellent sources. Foods, the fish, especially the dried one, and seafood have substantial quantities of calcium. Like ragi, ragi is a very good source of the calcium. It is a millet. Basically, nowadays we are very much having knowledge about the millets. So it's present in basically in the South India, and the whole pulses right now I told you. So like the Bengal gram, black gram, green gram, moat, rajma, soya bean, all these have also the calcium. Green leafy vegetables, है ना, nuts, sea oils, till seeds. In the winters in North India, we consume lot of uh, till laddus and the till oil also. So that is a very good source of the calcium and protein. Phosphorus, diet which furnishes enough protein and calcium would normally provide sufficient phosphorus also. So egg, milk, poultry, fish, these are the excellent sources of phosphorus, and cereals too. Okay. So actually absorption of calcium is it's much with the help of the calcium absorption is with the help of the vitamin D, the sunlight. Through sunlight we get the vitamin D. Protein and carbohydrates helps in the deposition of calcium in our body. Then next, the mineral which is required in our body in large quantity is basically the sodium. Sodium, from say, sodium, where we get any idea?
Salt, ma'am.
Yes,
Salt.
salt. So sodium is a mineral found in many foods. Basically, the common salt or the table salt is a very good source of our sodium, because the chemical formula of salt is NaCl. Na is sodium and Cl is chloride. Sodium chloride is the table salt which we consume daily. So sodium is basically a major compound in the extracellular fluid, basically, and plays a very fundamental role in our body. It basically have a large role in our fluid balance. So our body approximately contain how much of sodium? 120 gram, and it is present in the extracellular fluid, matlab the fluid which is around the cell, and it maintains the osmotic pressure also. And for example, extracellular fluid is blood plasma, and the blood has two parts, the cells and the plasma. The cells are the red blood cells, white blood cells, and the platelets, and the liquid part is basically the plasma. So that plasma is basically the extracellular fluid. So plasma refers to the fluid part of the blood. So sodium plays a very important role there, like this is the cell. The liquid which is inside the cell is known as the intracellular, and the liquid outside is the extracellular, like this. So the black dots are the potassium, and the cross one are the sodium, and the circle one are the chloride. So they should be maintained intracellularly and extracellularly also. So if the balance is does not goes appropriate, so the cell may shrinken or may swell up, and the extracellular also fluid may be dried out, or it affects the functioning of the cell. So the balancing should be there. So this sodium plays role in this. So first of all, it regulates the balance of the extracellular and the cellular fluid, as I told you. So it maintains the right balance of the fluid in the body, basically. So it removes excess fluid and retains the required amount. Okay. And it also help the sodium, the main mineral, is maintain the fluid balance. Then next is regulate the alkalinity and the acidity of the body fluids, because sodium basically make more acidic, and the potassium makes more alkaline. So the balancing of the body should be like the to maintain both. It not should not be too much or slightly acidic. Otherwise, our body plasma, all our body functioning may affect because of that acidity. So then sodium basically make the body fluids alkaline. And another mineral which is chloride uh, is present in the body fluids make the acidic. So the balancing of both it makes a neutral one. Okay, it should not be too much or too low. So sodium combines with chloride in the fluid, and together they help maintain the balance between the alkalinity and acidity of the body fluids. Then they also help in the message of the nerve. So passage of the messages from nerve cell to another. So transmit nerve impulses also in the contraction and the relaxation of the muscles. And thus they help in the passage of the substance in and out. So they sodium also helps in controlling the blood pressure, and this maintain the acid and base. The acid and base balance means the alkalinity and acidity of our body. Sources, just like I told you, it's a table salt, common table salt. It contains 1 teaspoon of salt contains 2000 milligram of sodium. Other sources are also there which are where sodium is present, like the milk, egg white, meat, poultry, fish. All these are the animal foods. Green leafy vegetables, pulses, these contain the sodium. Okay, I think so. Next, all slides are these are empty weekly schedule like this. Okay, so I want to discuss some few minerals, um, but they are not present here. So just listen. Okay, there is nothing as such. So, what will happen if too much of sodium will present from in our body? It causes hyponatremia, means too much sodium on our body, and it also causes high blood pressure problem because the fluid balance is not actually maintained properly. Sodium will get we get too much in from our diet. Okay, so the next mineral is the potassium. Potassium is also most of the abundant mineral present in our body, just like sodium. It also regulate the body fluid, and also yes, Surbhi, you want to ask something?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, if the content is not there right now in the slide, when you will share the slide, that time it will be there, right? Because I was going to
No.
make notes from the content also. Because
Okay,
this will be
but
very difficult to study during exam. Na? Like this is like full one book only. So I was just going to make a flow chart where what are the main sources of each mineral, for example, then what are the deficiencies if we
okay,
have in this.
there is no written document right now. Maybe I will try to later on, but later on becomes a later on. So try to note the important things right now, or
Hmm.
either
Okay.
during the during when you able to watch the recordings also. Okay, just
Okay.
try to note down, because I'm not sure ki, because this is a technical thing. I'm not actually right now the right person to say ki, that you will get the things or not. Actually, I right now I want to discuss all the things which is actually I want to convey to you people. Okay.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
please don't only matlab, on all these slides and things. Try to write it down yourself also. Okay. Shall I
Okay.
continue? Yeah. I will try to, but I am not confirmed. I will ask to the technical team. Okay. So the potassium is also it present in the 98% in our body in the cells, and it is also have a function in the our muscle cells in our bones also. The sources of potassium are basically the bananas, oranges, grapefruit, apricots, the spinach, the cooked one, the broccoli, potatoes also contain. So the function of potassium is basically to maintain our blood pressure, normal blood pressure, and it also transmitting nerve signals between the organs, and also helps in controlling our muscle contractions and relaxation. It also ensure optimal water balance within our systems of the body, and also like the sodium, it also balance pH in our body, so the balance between the acidity and alkalinity, and it also regulate our proper digestion processes. It also preventing stroke and the heart disease. So these are the functioning of the potassium, and in the lack of the potassium, in the deficiency of potassium, so the person may suffer from the hypokalemia. So weakness, confusion, like things are there. So the next uh, mineral is chloride in the sodium. It works with the sodium basically, like there. Sodium is not mentioned. Huh? Okay, calcium only. So the chloride, it acts with the sodium. It's a major mineral, and it also need in the large quantity, and we get mineral actually, chloride mineral from variety of foods also. So the basically we get from the table salt with the sodium chloride in the form of sodium chloride. So chloride is also a major mineral that works with the sodium and also with the potassium to keep our body fluids level balanced, just like sodium and potassium. So the lining the of the cells which are present in our stomach need chloride to make what, to make the hydrochloric acid HCl, which is a very important component in our digestive juices or the gastric juices, very important for our digestion, है ना? So the sources of the chloride are the like the leafy vegetables, the seaweeds, tomatoes, in also in the butter, leafy vegetables. So like sodium, it also maintain our electrolyte balance. Also important in the transmission of the nerve signal, nerve impulse, and also for the muscle contraction. Also assist in the fluid balance, just like sodium. Okay, so that is also very important. So there are many one mineral which is present in our body in a very less quantity, and that is basically the iron. It is not slide is not present here now. It's very difficult. Iron, as you know, is also a very important mineral. The main purpose of iron is basically to carry what? To carry the oxygen in the hemoglobin of the red blood cells. The hemoglobin, which is present in our red blood cells, that is actually made up of the iron, and iron makes this hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin actually carry the oxygen from the respiratory system, and this oxygen to each and every cell for production of the energy. So iron also helps to remove carbon dioxide and transmit the oxygen. So the sources of the iron are basically what? Anyone? What are the sources of iron?
All the green leafy vegetables,
Dark.
pig,
Yes, very good. Dark green leafy vegetables, like, for example,
spinach,
anyone?
fenugreek, amaranth.
Very good. like in the North India, na, we have a actually the especially the sarson ka saag, which contain all these green leafy vegetables. So during the winter season, it's very good to consume this type of vegetable so that our hemoglobin level will rise up. Also, other iron fortified cereals, breads, and things are also available in the market, but natural sources are always good. So, like the good, है ना, jaggery. Jaggery also contains a lot of iron. And the other sources are the basically the red meat, pork, poultry, some seafood. So all these are basically the sources of the iron. And the function, as I told you, it helps to transport the oxygen in the manufacturing of energy, and it also many enzymes also transferred, which help in the energy production. So it also helps in our immunity of the body, because immune system, because some infection, we fight, it makes our body prone to fight against some infections also. So what should be the how much should be the iron level in our body? Anyone? Hemoglobin level, you can say so. So according to the hemoglobin level, we should try to maintain our the iron absorption in our body. Iron absorption is basically is much good with what? It's recommended.
Vitamins.
Anything? Yes, very good. Vitamin C. The absorption of iron is basically very much good with the vitamin C. In presence of the vitamin C, the absorption of iron is good. So iron is a mineral which the main purpose is to carry oxygen in the hemoglobin of the red blood cells throughout the body, so cells can produce energy. So when the body iron stores become so low, not enough normal red blood cells can be made of to carry oxygen efficiently. What will help? The deficiency of iron leads to which type of disease?
Anemia.
Anemia. Very good. So anemia occurs when we have a low level of hemoglobin in our red blood cell. And hemoglobin is basically is a protein which is made up of iron, है ना, and responsible for carrying oxygen. So iron deficiency anemia is a most common type of anemia which is commonly happen in our country. Okay, so I think so. Some elements, minerals also like the zinc is also present. So very minute quantity they should be in our body, because zinc basically plays a very important part in our immunity, in the cell division basically. So they are in a very minute one. So they help in basically the metabolism process of our body, and in the child growth and the cell division. And besides this, I think so I have completed all now. Yeah, these are the main minerals which we have to be, otherwise there is a list, but yeah, one more, uh, fluoride. Fluoride is also a trace element, and we find that some foods, it is found in also the drinking water, and it also present in, in our oral hygiene products like the toothpaste, mouthwash. If you found any advertisement ki it contains fluoride, you know. So the natural sources are basically the fruit juices also. Some in you may have fluoride in the wine, caffeine, raisins. Okay, so fluoride basically helps in the prevention of the cavities in our teeth. So it helps that during the remineralization of the teeth, It basically protect our teeth from decaying, and it also harden our animal, and during actually in the childhood, basically, so that their milk tooth become uh, hard, and also uh, mm, to make them the permanent teeth. So in the deficiency of fluoride, the person may suffer from the tooth caries, from the mottling of the uh, teeth, like this disease they may suffer. So fluoride is also one of the element, and I think so. There are many, but they are for the exam point of view. There is no any such. Yes, yes, yes. One important is iodine. Iodine is also a very trace element, but it's very important for our body. Why iodine is important? Anyone? Iodine is very important for which for
Thyroid.
yes, for the thyroid gland. Thyroid is what? Thyroid is what? It's an endocrine gland. So what do endocrine glands? They synthesize hormones. So this iodine is very necessary for the development of our thyroid gland. If thyroid gland does not work properly, so what will happen? The hormones may not manufacture properly, and it affects our various systems of the body. So iodine is basically present mostly in the oceans, where many marine species, the fishes, plants also, seafood also, they are very rich sources of the iodine mineral. So iodine is a very important, very essential component of the thyroid hormones, which are the T3 and T4. T3 is known as the triiodothyronine, and T4 is known as the thyroxine. So the richest sources of iodine are seafood, the fish, shellfish, seaweed, sea plants, and also we can get iodine from the eggs, milk, dairy products, though the amount may be less, but still we may get. So the function of the iodine is basically to maintain the normal synthesis of the thyroid hormone, and also uh, it lowered the risk of the goiter. So in the goiter, the enlargement of the thyroid gland may happen, and also iodine is very good for the brain functioning. It promote memory, intelligence, concentration, rational thinking, and iodine also reduce the occurrence of the cancers of the thyroid gland and some disease like the Graves disease, like these things. Though they are very much needed in the less quantity, but very important mineral. So in the deficiency of iodine, what will may happen? So what will happen? There may be the enlargement of the thyroid gland, the swelling of the neck. The person may gain the weight or may lose the weight also. Skin may become dry, flaky, hair loss there. Also some problem with the memory, with the learning, with the remembering, and also sometimes infertility may there. So these are the problems which may happen if the person have the less intake of iodine. So these are the mainly all the minerals which are the micronutrients, and all this topic of the diet and nutrition is completed. If you have any questions and answers, you may discuss. I'm seeing your syllabus right now. If there's thing left behind, I will cover this. I think so. We have completed all the things. In case of any question, you may ask. I'm just scrolling down to see if any topic left behind, I will cover. I think so. We have completed all the things. Okay, I'm stopped the recording. So any doubt, any questions you may ask now.